It's the Gen Zer, and I'm back. Today we're gonna react to this video titled "Joy Behar ridicules Gen Zer." Apparently, she's a host on the syndicated TV show titled "The View," which I'm not sure if anybody watches anymore. But hey, she wants to talk about Gen Zers, so let's see what she has to say.
This generation, in defense of Gen Z, they're not hitting the milestones the way every generation before them did. They're owning homes at a lower rate. This is wild. 45% of people between ages 18 to 29 still live with their parents.
18 to 29. Let's listen to that again.
This is wild. 45% of people between ages 18 to 29 still live with their parents.
I think people, especially young people between the ages of 18 to 29, should live with their parents if they are afforded that opportunity. And that way they could start their economic lives by building their economic capital so that once they move out, they're able to move out in a much better situation instead of just moving out and getting their own place and paying sky high rent. Why not save your little money while you're young and you're living with your parents? And once you move out, maybe you might be able to put 20% down on a property instead of just paying rent every single day starting from when you're 18. Why live life on hard difficulty on why live life on extremely hard veteran difficulty when you could live life on recruit easy mode at least for a little bit, and then you can go on from there. But we can already see that the view is not too kind to the young members of Gen Z. Let's continue hearing what they have to say.
They feel left behind by the economy, and they also see everybody trying to not age. So
Please get a job.
No, but they
Okay, boomer.
have a job. No, they have to work multiple jobs.
There's a million job openings in this
Life
country.
is so
Get a
important.
job.
For any member of
Before the CYT or Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks starts talking here. Wow, that was quite the reaction from Joy Behar. Get a job, as if people don't have jobs already, as if, like I've stated in the last video or second to last video, Gen Zers are working. Guess what? Most older Gen Zers are either in the workplace or in college. Most Gen Zers, as of now, are going to be eligible to vote in the upcoming election. Most Gen Zers are adults. And yes, they are working. They're not just sitting at home and not doing anything. But of course, boomers don't understand that Gen Zers have inherited the disastrous economic situation which they have left for us. You know, when the boomers were busy maxing out their credit cards, when the boomers were going out there easily getting cheap loans so that they could just, you know, do whatever they wanted, go on spending sprees. They would take HELOCs, which are home equity lines of credits, to go on vacation. Guess what? Future generations were going to be the ones to pay that price. And Gen Xers, millennials, and as of now, Gen Zers will definitely be paying that piper. Oh, and that piper must be paid.
Gen Z, any of you Zoomers who might be watching this, if you feel left behind by the economy, the View's Joy Behar thinks that you need to quit your whining and just get a job. Now, interestingly enough, according to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a lot of Gen Zers do in fact have jobs. Now,
No shit, Sherlock. But of course, I don't expect Joy Behar to have done any research before she stated that. I mean, she's just talking from the hip. It's not like she's paid to be on a show where they have to discuss actual current events. And that might entail, I don't know, just doing some preliminary research. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's carry on.
who falls under the category of Gen Z? Well, it's people born between 1997 and 2012.
Hello, Zoomers.
So some of them are literally not old enough yet to have a job, but a lot of them who are old enough do in fact have jobs. Gen Z is more likely to work multiple jobs, 25% of them in fact, than the average professional.
Imagine being a young Zoomer out there. You're busting your balls trying to work multiple jobs. Meanwhile, you have boomers sitting out there on their high horse trying to tell you what to do and what not to do. They're trying to tell you, hey, get a job. Not thinking of how easy the economy was during their time, right? I think the average Zoomer or I'm sorry, I think the average boomer, if they were to be Zoomers, they would find it very hard to navigate. If we took them from their era when they were young and we placed them in today's climate, they would sully their undergarments. Let's just put it like that. Let's just put it mildly.
16% according to McKinsey.
So, hey, good news, Joy. They listened. They have multiple jobs. That's not the issue. The issue is how much do their jobs pay compared to what they used to pay when you were coming up. How much do other things cost, like houses, as opposed to when you were coming up, student debt, as opposed to when you were coming up. Keep it real, Joy. And by the way, Joy used to be big time progressive.
Wait.
My life changed
Advertisement.
forever
Let's
when
get
I
rid of
discovered
that. Let's get rid of that.
She then felt like she's like moving over to moderate / establishment Democrat, but that get a job is like right out of the Republican playbook.
Okay, before we proceed here, I know the Young Turks are supposed to be on a progressive show. Although this isn't a political channel, I will say I agree with some political points they make. I think others, they're just all the way out there and they're just lunatic talking points. As of this talking point regarding economic stability of our generation, I think Cenk Uygur is on point there. Joy Bear, when she was coming up in her era, she didn't have it nearly as bad as current Zoomers do. But of course, she's going to sit there from her boomer high horse, and she's going to essentially besmirch the good name of our generation and talk down to us as if she knows it all.
Let's go to graphic 3 here. The current labor force participation rate among Gen Zers ages 20 to 24 is 71%, roughly 4 percentage points lower than millennials and 6 percentage points lower than Gen X when they were in the same age range. So I got a Gen Xer sitting next to me right now. Apparently you guys worked a little harder than
I will say nowadays, trying to get a job, an entry position, is seemingly much more difficult than it used to be in the past. I mean, for entry positions, they're asking for you to have 3 years of experience. It's an entry position. I'm not supposed to have any experience. That's why it's called entry position, entry level. No prior experience should be required. But of course, I guess that goes above the comprehension level of most employers nowadays. Now, be that as it may, Gen Zers are out there actively seeking jobs. But of course, Gen Zers got to go through a lot of hoops and hurdles to try to get a job. And once they have jobs, they end up realizing, hey, especially if they're living on their own, having just one job is not going to be able to cut it. It's not going to be able to help them afford their rent. It's not going to be able to help them afford their expenses unless they get a roommate and then get another job. They have to find multiple crutches to rely upon as Gen Zers. So again, going back to the stat which stated that more than 40% of Gen Zers are living, or more than 40% of people between the ages of 18 to 29 are still living at home with their parents. These people are smart. So keep on doing that.
millennials.
Yeah, well, look, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that we're the best generation.
Okay, but to be
No, they're
fair, millennials graduated into the recession in 2008. So I'm sure that played a role as well. But anyway.
But you know what I say to that? Get a job.
And by the way, millennials did graduate, during the recession of 2008. That was a tough time for millennials to start out. However, I will say millennials are the everybody gets a trophy generation. So I do have that knock against them. But millennials, they've been dealt a pretty shitty hand as well. So we got to sympathize.
Okay, and by the way, I would venture to say that the other portion of the Zoomers who are not employed are probably still going through their schooling. Remember, the age group or the age range I gave you was 20 to 24. A lot of people are still in college at that time. So anyway, I have a theory on all of this because I don't think that Joy Behar was annoyed at Zoomers feeling uneasy about their economic future or feeling as though they've been left behind by the economy. I think there was something else at play because that same study that they were talking about referenced other things that Zoomers are concerned about. So let's take a look at what that is.
Apparently, Generation Z, those are the folks born between the years 1997 and 2013. They apparently are terrified about turning 30. They are panicked social media threads from 20-somethings worried about losing their stamina, sex appeal.
Oh man. Okay. I will say Gen Z has an unhealthy infatuation with looks. I will say that. For the young ladies, I mean, Gen Z girls, they care about makeup, Sephora, Fendi. Oh my God, they have to get their makeup completely correct. They have to get toner. It's so many things. I mean, I thought makeup was just you buy a little makeup pouch, you put the little powder on your face, and then boom, you have it. Apparently, for Gen Z women, it's a whole process. You have to have your different creams and lotions and moisturizers. It's a whole process. So I mean, and guess what? The older Gen Zers, which by the way I am, I'll let you guys know I am the oldest Gen Zer on record. Yeah, we're pushing 30. We're going to be 30 soon. So it's not surprising that the young ladies of our generation would start reacting this way and saying, "Oh my God, we're gonna be old." Yeah, we're gonna be old. As for the guys, for the gentlemen out there, for the young Gen Z dudes, they're infatuated with looks via the black pill. I mean, for these guys, they think looks is everything. That's what the black pill preaches to them, right? And it's all about looks maxing, trying to maximize your looks. These guys are talking about, there's videos of these guys talking about cantal tilt and trying to improve, you know, their looks by mewing so that they could make sure their jawline shows. I mean, there's all sorts of crazy, ludicrous things that Gen Z is trying to do to extend its youthfulness. I don't know if that's a good usage of resources, but hey, at least Gen Z is hygiene conscious. Hopefully, so at the bare minimum, Gen Z should be hygiene conscious. But I don't know if it's gonna be worth it to focus all that attention just into your looks, unless you're like a supermodel and that's your job.
Value as they age.
They're
Ridiculous.
laughing.
And that they'll have nothing to look forward to other than wrinkles, health issues, and death.
Oh my God.
I think they took that personally. I think like Michael Jordan, they really took that personally. And I especially Joy Behar, I think she really took that personally.
Yeah, it's true. They should be scared.
Yeah.
They're correct. And no, but what be like the gaggle of gals sitting there, right? Mm-hmm. All of these older women, let's keep it real, who are laughing because they find it ridiculous. But they forget that the vast majority of people don't have cushy TV daytime jobs, right? Where they're still raking in the big bucks and they don't have to worry about their financial future.
By the way, who is watching these people on daytime TV? Who watches them? Why are they making so much money? Nobody watches daytime. I might be mistaken. Are they being watched by soccer moms or, drinking wine during mommy wine time during the daytime? Is that who's watching them? Because I can't believe that they're getting paid to go on network television to just provide useless takes at times and just horrible takes at times. And they're still getting paid no matter what. It's insane. I'm not saying that their show doesn't have a utility, but it would probably actually no, I am saying it doesn't have a utility because their takes are just so off the wall and awful that I don't think it necessitates having a show for that. If they wanted to just report the news, you already have other shows and other TV stations which do that around the clock. And that's not necessarily what they're doing. They're providing their opinion and commentary, but sometimes their commentary is just so ass. I just don't know how to take it. Ugh.
For a lot of Americans, in fact, most Americans, once you hit a certain age, if you get fired, if you're in your 50s and you lose your job, you get laid off. Do you know how difficult it is for them to find another job? Do you know how rampant age discrimination is in the workplace?
Yep.
So, like,
And that's why, as Gen Zers, we have to make sure we start preparing our nest egg from the beginning. Start saving for retirement as soon as you can. Do not wait until the last second. You will regret it if you do.
listen, it's easy for them to laugh about those fears, but those fears are real. And I would venture to say that the people who are actually out of touch are not the Zoomers who are concerned about that. It's the people sitting on that panel.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of things here. In the old days, people would, if they were anchors, would panic once they got into their 50s because they were worried they were going to get fired, and more attractive men and women were going to get hired in their place.
Women, let's keep it real.
More
Okay?
women, but
the
men
men would
too.
age. I mean, like barely functioning, like they're freaking like drooling on themselves. But it's okay. He's a dude, so it's totally fine. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Male anchors are usually on TV until they turn into a bag of bones. I can't even disagree with her on that.
it was different for the women.
But nowadays, the TV audience is so old, no disrespect, but they're usually in their 70s. So they like women who are older, and that's why they have job security. And so they feel like, what are you talking about, dude?
So that's why the view's still on, because the boomers are watching them. The old boomers are in retirement homes watching these ladies providing their horrible takes, just spewing their horrible rhetoric, which makes no sense and has no rhyme or reason or logic. So that's why they still have jobs over here. That's insane.
Things got way better for us. We became like gazillionaires when we got older. Yeah, but that's not usually how it works, right?
As you get older, people that you love start passing away. Okay, your body does change. There's no stopping it, right? Even all the billionaires out there who think they can stop the aging process with all their money and resources fail to do so because you can't f with nature in that way. You're gonna age. Your body doesn't function as well as it used to. Like, yeah, there are a lot of bad things that happen as you age.
No,
and it's okay to acknowledge that.
Of course, that's
so enjoy now. Enjoy now. It doesn't get better.
No,
enjoy now.
So look, it's complicated. So
Gen Z, in some regards, it really doesn't get better as you age. I mean, I could already start feeling it myself. I'm not even 30 yet. My metabolism is already slowing down. From what it was in my teens, I mean, it's slowed down. I gained weight quickly, and it's kind of hard to take it off now. In the past, I could shed 10 pounds in 3 days, easy. Now, it's gonna take a bit more for me to shed the weight. I have to be much more. I have to be much more intentional about being in the gym for me to stay healthy. As you get older, that tends to happen. So Gen Z, take care of your health because you're going to grow old. And if you don't take care of your young self, your old self will despise you for it.
Does your body wear down? Of course, that's just a fact, right? But I think that I've gotten a lot wiser as I've gotten older. I used to believe a lot of nonsense stuff when I was younger.
And did that make your life better, Cenk?
I think it did.
I think ignorance is bliss in this country.
Well, look, I'm especially over the last 4 years, I got way happier, right? And I was already pretty happy to begin with, right? So it depends on your situation. So I think that there are some upsides to growing older, but overall, yeah, physically it's worse. Of course, the worst of it, and this I've also experienced, is your metabolism slows down.
That's literally what I was just talking about.
And everyone who hits that wall is always confounded. They're like, I don't get it. I used to be able to eat this and be fine, and now I eat half of it, and it doesn't.
It's so messed up. It's so wrong.
Sucks. It's true.
It's wrong. Okay, like why didn't evolution fix that?
Oh, evolution's working like it should. You see, in the past, all of us were pretty much limited to a 30-year lifespan. That was the average life expectancy. I mean, think about it. The average life expectancy for most human history, throughout most of human history, was about 30 years. 30 years. Most of Gen Z should be grandparents by now, or the older Gen Zers should have been grandparents by now, to be honest with you. The oldest Gen Zers are about to be 27 years old, and guess what? At 27 in antiquity, if you have a kid, you have your first kid at age 12, Your kid should be 12. Yeah, your kid should be about ready to pop out their first kid, or maybe they've already popped out their first kid, and you're a grandparent. Yeah, there's a reason why your body starts, pretty much telling you, hey, it's things are about to decelerate from here once you're 30, because throughout most of human history, that was pretty much the limit. But of course, with the advent of modern scientific wonders, we're able to go much beyond that, and we've been able to expand our life expectancy. But I don't think we're going to be able to avoid the downfall and downsides of aging. It is what it is.
Okay. Oh, evolution. Oh, it's so great. It's so great. But they couldn't figure out the metabolism thing.
They couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, nature. It's messed up. And then
yeah, nature. Why don't you look into fixing evolution? Fix your face, nature.
Yeah, 100%. And then look, the metabolism is one part of it, but the other part is difficulty in maintaining the gains. Right? Like you got some muscle tone, you took care of yourself when you were younger, which by the way, keep doing that because things like stay together a little better as you get older when you're exercising and taking care of yourself when you're younger. But there's no stopping what happens to muscle tone, right? Like if you have like some natural muscle tone, like you don't really do much in weightlifting, it's gonna be gone. Like you hit 35 and that's it.
That's why you need to be in the gym mog maxing. Oh, that's another Gen Z term for just lifting weights and just being in the gym and trying to maximize your body. Yeah, you need to be in the gym mog maxing, guys. You have to. Because if you're not, yeah, it's not going to be a pretty graceful gray years. It's not. And I'll tell you guys what, some people get on TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy, as they grow older and they're able to retain their muscle mass. Now, would I recommend that? I would advise that people thinking of that speak with their medical professional, such as their doctors and whatnot, before they do that. But hey, that is a viable alternative if you want to look youthful as you age.
Like one day you're gonna be in a salsa class with your husband. You're gonna look in the mirror and you'll be like, what happened to the small amount of muscle tone I had?
Nah.
No, it's true. It's true. Then you have to lift weights.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta lift weights, Anna. You gotta lift weights. Both boys and girls, you have to lift weights. You have to. As a matter of fact, I'll post some videos of myself lifting weights in the future once I get a proper camera, because lifting weights is necessary.
Home as you're watching Real Housewives of New York City. Okay. It's messed up.
So first of all, I'm still super strong, not a big deal. Okay, no, but seriously, we got a little far afield here. Back to Gen Z for one last comment, which is, look guys, the problem isn't, hey, are they all lazy? Are they all this or are they all that? As I've said many times, it's a class issue. The people who are Gen Z and work at The View or intern at The View are usually pretty rich. So you don't get to that job usually if you're poor or middle class. Very, very, very hard to break in. It's usually someone you had to go to the right colleges, blah, 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 right? So they deal with the snootiest Gen Z people in the country, the ones that don't want to work, that did grow up entitled, etc. But that's not all of Gen Z. They just don't have any interaction with the Gen Z guy who had to take the Burger King job after coming out of a good college because there were no other jobs, right? And then yelling at him to get a job doesn't help the situation.
Yeah, I don't think Joy Behar, whatever her name is, I don't think she's interacting much with Zoomers who are out here working at Amazon warehouses, and then they're doing DoorDash part time. They're trying to do some Uber part time. They're making sure that they have as much revenues of income as possible. She doesn't work with Gen Zers who are trying to start online businesses. She doesn't work with Gen Zers who are in school studying. In the meantime, they have a side business which they're actively working in, trying to grow it. She doesn't understand that. All she sees are probably uh, you know, some snotty behavior Gen Zers, just as Cenk mentioned, who really don't are not working that hard, and she thinks, oh my god, these people are complaining, their generation is complaining, look at these Gen Zers who work on our set, they have it good. You know, they have it easy. Why can't the majority of Gen Z be like them? Or why are they complaining? Anywho, Joy's stuck on her boomer horse. Let's see if they have anything else to say. Oh, that's it. In summation, Joy Behar is stuck in Zoomerland. I'm sorry, in Boomerland, and she's talking down on Gen Zers for no reason. Guess what, guys? As the Gen Zer here, I am going to make it my mission to put down any Boomers, Gen Xers, and Millennials who dare besmirch the good name of my generation without any cause. That's the main word. Those are the key words here, without any cause. If they have cause to do so, I'll actually back them up. But yeah, Joy Behar, you're out of order for this one. Anywho, until we find another boomer to roast into oblivion, it's the Gen Zer, and I'm out. Peace.